It's the Good News Wednesday show. Come on, kids, it's time to go. Tell everybody that you know. Watch the Good News Wednesday show. Good News Wednesday's finally here. Let's stand up and give a cheer. Watch the boredom disappear, 'cause Good News Wednesday's here.
Good evening and happy Good News Wednesday. We're halfway through another week. This is your host, Karen Donovan here. And as we do every Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m., this is getting to be a standard thing here. We come on and we try. And my husband says if not anything, I'm honest, or I appear to be honest. That's what I say. We try to put a little smile on your face and some fun in your week. I know some of what I'm talking about is a little corny, and I know some of you feel like, oh my gosh, we're going back to Mr. Rogers here. But seriously, I've gotten a lot of really neat feedback over the last year, putting on this little Good News Wednesday show since the start of the pandemic. And here we are, unfortunately, celebrating a whole year. And everybody, is stressed, but hopefully we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And so now we want to continue and help people who may feel exhausted with this whole thing. Do you ever feel exhausted? I know there's some days I go around dragging, you're like stressed out from something that's been going on in your life, maybe due to COVID, maybe due to just the way we've all had to survive in some way, shape, or form, either good or bad. And we are exhausted. So what do we do about that? What are the antidotes for exhaustion? And so I was thinking on Monday morning, wake up call, I gave a little bit of a hint of what we were going to talk about tonight. And two things that I didn't really mention too much were just taking time to go to sleep. Because a lot of us don't get enough sleep. And the second thing is taking time for yourself, right? So I was going to share with you and I was going to try to do it on my phone to show you my little app that I have, but I found a guy online who is from the company, and he explains it much better than I do. So let me share a little bit about this app and see if maybe this might be something that you'd like to look into. I mean, you may have something like this already, but I've been using it now for like 3 years, and it's definitely helped me. So let me get this guy in here and you see what you think. Here we go.
Mornings can be rough. I personally get irregular sleep from all the partying I do every night. So when the alarm would go off in the morning, I'd be super groggy, practically paralyzed with the thoughts of my mortality and the futility of my own existence. I would keep hitting the snooze and contemplate staying in bed until I die. Then I'd remember about coffee and get out of bed. But the Sleep Cycle app monitors my sleep and sets off the alarm when I'm in a light sleep state, making mornings a lot easier. One reason you may be tired in the morning is because the alarm interrupts an REM sleep cycle. The average person goes through 4 to 5 REM cycles a night, and getting woken during one totally sucks. The Sleep Cycle app tracks your sleep patterns via movement or sound and wakes you when you're coming out of a cycle. You can set your wake-up window to up to 90 minutes. I set mine for a 30-minute window between 5 and 5:30 a.m. Yeah, that's right. I get up at 5:30 every morning. I'm a smart, youngish man with plenty of great business ideas, so I get up early to work on them. I've been using this app for a few months and notice results right away. Instead of starting my mornings terrified, I wake up more naturally. And it takes a few seconds before those negative thoughts of who I am and what I've become settle in. The Sleep Cycle app has made my mornings much easier. I'm less tired, I'm in a better-ish mood, and when I'm at work, I get so much more done.
Oh, he made me laugh. I couldn't have done it that well. So anyway, I do have the Sleep Cycle app, and as I said, I've been using it for about almost 3 years now. And some of the cool things it does are not only does it track your sleep, because a lot of people have apps that do that, but it also shows you your sleep cycles every night. So you can see, when the hump is up there, that's when you're awake. And then when it's down low in the valley, it's when you're in a deep REM sleep. And what he's talking about there is if you, like, say you were in the middle of a dream, right? A really, I don't know, sometimes getting woken up in the middle of a bad dream is not a bad thing. But if you were in a good dream and you got woken up, you feel like all out of sorts. You feel, don't know where you are, all that kind of stuff. So that's what he's talking about. And the Sleep Cycle app gently wakes you up after you've come out of that REM sleep, as he said. The other thing it does is it records if you snore. Now, I swear I don't snore, but there's something that doesn't lie. And it's really interesting too to track your sleep over time, and it has all kinds of graphs in it and everything. So check it out online. It's called the Sleep Cycle app. Sleep Cycle app, and it could help you to avoid exhaustion, because you know how many hours of sleep you need because you got the answer already to our trivia question, which we're going to talk about shortly. So now the second thing that we need to talk about is just taking time, for yourself. For, right now, either you're working too hard, you're not working hard enough, but you're stressed out, you're exhausted. So what about a little analogy to my guys, my friends, John and Charlie? Now, let me tell you the story about John and Charlie. John and Charlie were woodcutters. They chopped wood, they chopped trees, and they were very, very competitive, the two of them. So one day they decided to have a contest. So they went into the woods. Each of them carried their axe along, and they decided they were going to chop wood for, gosh, I think it was 6 hours. Holy mackerel. Can you imagine how your muscles would feel at the end of 6 hours? And they were going to see who was the winner. So John started and Charlie started, and they're chopping away at the wood. And then all of a sudden, after about 45 minutes, John hears Charlie has stopped chopping wood. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go way ahead of him. So he's chopping away. And then in about 15 minutes or so, he hears Charlie come back and chopping again. And then that same thing happens the next hour and the next hour and the next hour. And every time John hears Charlie stop, he's like, oh, right, I'm definitely winning this contest. He's tired. He's taking too many breaks. Finally, the last hour rolls around. And at that point, John is like totally exhausted. but he says, I'm going to keep going. And they both finish. And when they get all done, they count the wood. The judge counts the wood. And guess what? Who chopped more wood? You know the answer. Charlie. Why did Charlie chop more wood? Because Charlie, every 15 minutes of every hour, he went and sharpened his axe. So the moral of the story, my friends, is take time out to sharpen your axe. And by that, I mean rest up, have some fun in your life, do some planning, think about things that you want to learn that are refreshing to you. Go out in nature and enjoy it. And this way, you too will be like Charlie instead of John and chop more wood. So that's my little story for today. And I hope that these two examples, the Sleep Cycle app and the chopping your wood story, help you all to avoid or find some antidote for exhaustion. And with that, we're going to talk about our trivia question for this week, which was appropriately enough about sleep. And the question was, how many hours of sleep should an average adult have per night to function optimally? Now, the choices were A, 6 hours, B, 7 hours, C, 8 hours, or D, 9 hours. So which one do you think it was? If you didn't answer the trivia question by sending in your answer in the Monday morning wake up call or on the chat in the last week's Good News Wednesday show, if you missed it, well, think about it for a second. Do you get 6 hours? Do you get 7? Do you get 8? Do you get 9? Now, personally, if I had to stay in bed for 9 hours, I'd be looking at the ceiling, waiting to get up. But on the other hand, there's many people that try to get by on a lot less. The correct answer, according to physicians, is 8 hours of sleep for the average adult. Now, as we get older, sometimes we don't need as much sleep, but sometimes we need to take a nap to catch up. So if you're feeling drowsy in the middle of the day and your eyes are closing, chances are you need more sleep. So let's see who guessed 8 hours of sleep. Drum roll, please. All right, the winners this week. If you answered the question correctly, your name went into our handy dandy mixing bucket, folks. And now we're going to pick out the winners. First winner is Amy Sorrell. Congratulations, Amy. Good work. She got it. And the second winner is Abel Ragusa. Abel, congrats. Good work. Third winner is Justin Holt. Congrats, Justin. And the fourth winner is Todd O'Leary. Look at that. All those people are so smart. They must have gone to sharpen their axe and studied out how much sleep we need. So, in the event that you do not get 8 hours sleep and you don't even get 7 hours sleep, why don't you shoot for a little bit more than you're sleeping now, and maybe that'll help. Everything is done in increments, so hopefully you too will become less exhausted and more relaxed. All right, so now we get to go on to our most becoming favorite topic of the last month or two. And I've gotten a lot of good responses about our birthday shout outs because, see, what we do is not only do we mention your name or your friend's name or whoever's birthday is coming up this week. We sing them a little song, and then they get a custom designed cake. Now, is it a real cake? Well, it is a virtual cake, but we've been doing so many things virtually this year. What's one more virtual thing? It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's very cool. So if you too would like to be included, please make sure to send me your name and the day and month of your birthday, and we'll be glad to include you in. And if you want to surprise a friend with a wacky thing of being able to be on the famous Good News Wednesday show birthday shout outs, why, just send me their name and their birthday, and I will be glad to include them in. So here we go for the month of and the week starting today, which is, starting tomorrow, because last week we celebrated with the people that were of today, I believe. So now we're starting tomorrow. Here we go. Gordon McLean, March 11th. Tom Smith, March 11th. Reggie Balmer, March 12th. Francis McDonald, March 14th. Michael O'Donovan Lee, March 14th. Frank Spinato, March 14th. Gordon Chernicki, March 14th. Sandra Vose, March 14th. Popular day. Lauren Donovan, March 14th. All right, then on March 15th, we have Mindy Baird, Missy Joyner Montague, and Rich Ripito, and David Marcial. And on March 16th, we have, on March 15th, we also have Tim Ferguson. And then on March 16th, we have Brenda Woldridge and Stephanie Valentine. So that takes us up to next week. And then we have on March 17th, which is St. Patty's Day, and which we'll be celebrating next week, Pat Gambino, Diane Lutman, Cheryl Simonelli, and Charles Cox. So we hope that all of you have a spectacular birthday week. Not only a birthday, but a birthday week and a birthday year. So let's get celebrating here, folks. Here we go. And we're going to give you a little serenade.
We heard it was your birthday. Hope it's a good one too. Happy, happy birthday, now and the whole year through. And if you're having trouble with all those candles on your cake, just call us up, we'll help you blow them out. So you can take a, you can take a, you can take a break.
And happy, happy birthday to you. And we hope that you can take a break. See, we got it right in the song. How'd we do that? And next week, we're going to have a new birthday song coming out. We're in the process of writing it now. Joe and I have got something cooking here. All right, now on to our next segment. And this is something that someone has asked me. All right, so you've got questions, we've got answers, and today's question was, if I'm trying to rest or sell my house, what are some tips of things I can do to make my bedroom more appealing? So that's what we're going to be talking about, is some staging tips for your bedroom to make it more appealing. And when you make it more appealing, it's more restful and you can get more sleep. That makes perfect sense, right? So the first thing we want to do is we want to declutter the bedroom. All right. All the junk gone. All right. Get all that stuff out from all the shoes out from under the bed and all that good kind of stuff. Organize the closets, thin out your clothes. My husband, Joe, has recently come upon the KonMari method or Marie Kondo method for how you fold clothes and you roll clothes, and you should see his drawer. It's beautiful. He'd probably be embarrassed for me telling this, but I mean, like, he rolls all of his things up in the drawer and you open not that not anybody's going to really look in your drawer, but they will look in your closet. So if you're ever going to be selling, you want your closet to look neat. Now, another thing that you want to do is you definitely want to clean everywhere, get rid of all those dust bunnies under the bed and all that kind of stuff. And then last but not least, take all the things that, you've piled up on your dresser and your nightstand and put them away. And put away the tissues and the stuff you use at night, your personal items, and put those in the drawer so that, the top looks more organized, and put, maybe a nice book on there or something. People say flowers, but I don't know. If you put flowers there and you're allergic to them, that's not going to be a very restful night. So those are some of the things that you can do to make your room more appealing. I know it's probably mostly common sense, but I just thought I would share that with you. And now we are on to what we're going to be talking about next week. So, as you all know, in our Monday morning wake up, if you don't get it, it's an email blog that we send out every Monday morning. And I promise it doesn't wake you up unless you have a ding on your phone when you get an email, because it's going to come at 7:00 a.m. That's what time it comes. So if you don't want to be woken up at 7, please don't put the ringer on your phone. Turn it on silent so you can check it out later. But anyway, our Monday morning blog has an inspirational article, and then it has the trivia questions, so you can answer that in there and send it in for next week's contest, or you can hear it here. And so next week we are going to be talking, wait a minute, it's St. Patrick's Day. Of course, we're going to be talking about luck. What other thing would we talk about on St. Patty's Day, right? Except for maybe green beer. But no, I think luck is a better, more inspirational topic, going with what I'm trying to get at here. The green beer, we'll leave that for somebody else's show. But so we're going to be talking about, do you design a life that allows luck to come in? Now, a lot of people say, well, luck is like superstition, but in essence, though, a lot of people say, oh, good luck. And what they mean is that we want to think positive thoughts, and everybody wants to do that. They want to be positive, because if you're positive, man, things just go better. If you're optimistic, things just go better. We've talked about those before too. So let's talk about our trivia question, which has to do with luck. Are we ready? Okay, we have to get the intro for it, though. People told me they want to see this. All right, so you know the drill. If you answer the question either in the chat tonight, or you send me an email to Karen@homesbydonovan.com, or you use our handy dandy entry form in the Monday morning wake up call, you too can be a an entrant into the trivia contest to win a Panera gift card, which we announced the 4 winners for this week. And then every week we have 4 winners. And then at the end of the month, we have a grand prize drawing. And last month, and last week was the announcement, our grand prize winner decided at the last minute, it was very exciting, to change their charity, because we had on our friend Ray Manzoni, who talked about the ALF Ride for Life program that he's involved in for the cause of Lou Gehrig's disease. And it was very, very moving. If you missed it, check out last week's show and you'll thoroughly enjoy it. I know. Ray is a fellow realtor friend of mine. Anyway, this week we're talking about luck. And so you know that the trivia question is going to be about luck. And this is a fun one. Okay, so you know that numbers, a lot of people feel like numbers are either lucky or unlucky numbers. Like, 13 is an unlucky number. I lived in a house once. I lived in 2 houses once with 13 as the address. That was weird. And, people, they say Friday the 13th, and, there's a lot of things against 13 being an unlucky number. But now let's talk about a lucky number, because that's what we're thinking about. The lucky number 7. All right, that's the lucky number. There's a lot of lucky numbers, but if you're thinking about lucky numbers, the lucky number we're talking about is 7. Now, here's the question, and I'm going to put my glasses on to read this so I make sure and read it correctly. Okay, why is 7 considered to be a lucky number? All right, here's your answers. You ready? A, because there are 7 dwarfs. That's your first answer. B, because that's the number that comes up when you roll the dice a certain way. C, because at any one time there are 7 fixed planets or objects in the sky visible to the human eye from Earth. And D, because there are 7 days in a week. Okay, so why is 7 considered to be a lucky number? A, because there's 7 dwarfs. B, because that's the number that comes up when you roll the dice a certain way. C, because at any one time there are 7 fixed planets or fixed objects in the sky visible to the human eye from Earth. Or D, because there are 7 days in the week. All right, so on your mark, get set, go. You can put it in the chat. You can put it in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Please don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe. And then on YouTube to also subscribe and like us so that we can keep you posted on any other programs that are coming along that we think you might like, if you find this interesting and helpful. So we are glad you were here this evening, and I don't want to forget anything, but I think we covered it all. Make sure, please, this week to stay safe and rest up, get some sleep, take some time for yourself, and make it a great week. Until next time, bye-bye.
It's the Good News Wednesday show. Come on, kids, it's time to roll. Tell everybody that you know. Watch the Good News Wednesday show. Good News Wednesday's finally here. Let's stand up